It's time to predict the scores of week 37 of this 2022-2023 Championship season. Last week in game week 36, top scorer in the Predictions League was DJ Horn, 92 on 15.5 points. So congratulations on that great score, Doug. How that affects the overall leaderboard now? Well, Doug has actually jumped up to second position on 337.5 points, but leading the way as usual is GKK 474 on 343 points. So all to play for as we move into game week 37. So game week 37 takes place on Tuesday the 14th of March and Wednesday the 15th of March. And first up, we've got Blackpool taking on QPR at Bloomfield Road. Blackpool losing 2-0 away against Bristol City at Ashton Gate on the weekend. And QPR finally winning a match there where they beat Watford 1-0, giving Gav Ainsworth his first win since joining the R's. So in this match, I think QPR with that a little bit of momentum behind them played really well in that game against the Hornets, taking on a Blackpool side who toothless in front of the goal at the moment, third from bottom as well. But I do see this one ending up as a draw, and I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline. We then move on to the next match where Millwall take on Swansea. Swansea going ahead against Middlesbrough on the weekend, but finally capitulating to ongoing pressure, wave after wave from Borough. And in the end, you have to say that it was fairly deserved 3 points for Middlesbrough. As for Millwall, another victory, this time against Reading, where it was to be expected, really. As regards to a scoreline for this match against Swansea, though, I think it will be tight. The Jacks losing 5 in the last 7 matches, and Millwall winning 3 of the last 7. I think Millwall should gain all 3 points in this one with a 1-0 victory. Then we move on to Rotherham United against Preston NE. Rotherham losing, surprisingly you could say, against Birmingham, who'd been having a bit of a difficult time themselves. Preston, a fine 2-0 victory against Cardiff City, where prior to them scoring the first goal, Cardiff seemed to be the better side in that game, but they came through all the same, and that's just one defeat now in the last 7 matches. So another tight one to call. However, I think that watching Rotherham didn't look too great on the weekend. I'm going to go for an away win to Preston with a 1-0 scoreline. We then move on to Vicarage Road, where Watford take on Birmingham City. Now, Watford only 1 win in their last 7 matches, but only 2 defeats as well, drawing a lot of games. Birmingham City got back to winning ways the first in around about 7 matches, where I've already said they beat Rotherham 2-0, and draw previous to that the week before against Wigan Athletic. So I think they will cause Watford a few problems, but ultimately I see this one ending up in a draw 1-1. We then move on to the DW Stadium, where Wigan Athletic need the points desperately now, up against Coventry side who haven't lost in their last 7 matches, really looking to drive towards the playoffs. Wigan, back-to-back defeats now. It wasn't too much of a surprise at least to come to a 3-0 defeat against Burnley. Coming up against Coventry side with their tails up, I fully expect Coventry to win this one, and I think they will. I think they'll come away with a 2-0 away win. And the final fixture of Tuesday evening sees Middlesbrough take on Stoke City, probably the clash of the evening, this one. Stoke City really turning their fortunes around now. 3 wins in the last 4 matches. A fantastic win over high-flying Blackburn Rovers in the last match. Prior to that was an excellent win over Sunderland, where they win 5-1 away from home. Middlesbrough, though, 6 wins in their last 7 matches. I think this is going to be a really, really tight. There will be 1 goal in it. There'll be lots of goals. This could end up something like 4-3 or something, but I am going to go for a home win to Middlesbrough, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 scoreline. Then we move on to the Wednesday matches, where Blackburn Rovers take on Reading. Okay, Blackburn losing their first match in their last 7 matches, but look at that, Reading dropping like a stone now. 3rd defeat on the bounce, a 1-0 deficit against Millwall. I think Blackburn will return to winning ways with a narrow 1-0 victory. We then move on to the Cardiff City Stadium, where Cardiff City take on West Brom. Myself and Nathan will be in attendance at this game. Nathan will be bringing out a vlog as well. Cardiff look to be a lot stronger at home these days. West Brom back-to-back wins, with a win over Huddersfield and a victory over Wigan, so both of those teams in the relegation zone. I think they'll find it a lot tougher against Cardiff. Whether there'll be many goals in this one, I'm not too sure, because Cardiff have found it very, very difficult to score this season. Tight one this one. Kipri's actually missing for Cardiff, so it's going to end up in a draw or a win for the Bluebirds. I'm going to go for a 1-0 narrow victory to the Bluebirds, with the Cardiff City crowd being a massive influence on this match, especially under the lights. Then we move on to Huddersfield against Norwich. Now, Norwich on Sunday surprisingly losing 1-0 at home against Sunderland, who were smashed against Stoke recently. Maybe that was the kick up the butt they needed. Huddersfield, another defeat, this time against West Brom. So, another narrow one this one, but I think Norwich will want to get back to winning ways, want to chase those playoff places down again, and I think they'll come away with a 2-1 away win. Then we move on to the Tigers, coming up against Burnley. Burnley on a fantastic run. Hull only 2 defeats in their last 7 matches, but I fully expect Burnley to come away with all 3 points in this one, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 away victory. Then we've got Luton Town coming up against Bristol City. Bristol City return to winning ways with a good 2-0 home win over Blackpool. Weinman scoring his first goal in something like over 30 matches in that one, and young Alex Scott getting his first goal in the Championship as well. Luton Town back-to-back wins, a very, very good win against the Blades, Sheffield United, in that victory on Saturday, and I fully expect them to win this one, but I think Bristol City will score, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 home victory to the Hatters. And then the final fixture of this game round sees Sunderland taking on Sheffield United. Sheffield United's form up and down at the moment, not drawing many, but it's 3 wins and 4 defeats in the last 7 matches. Sunderland stopped the rot slightly with that win against Norwich City on Sunday afternoon. Tough one to call, this one. Sheffield United's form has been erratic, but I think they'll just have a little bit too much for the Black Cats in this one, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win. So that concludes my predictions for game week 37 of this 2022-2023 Championship season. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Super Brew website. Let's see if we can all climb up that leaderboard. See if we can take on the likes of Doug and GKK474. As for further videos this week, whether it's a Premier League prediction show where I'll be joined by Nathan, and over on Nathan's channel, as I already said, there will be a vlog out of the Cardiff City versus West Bromwich Albion match. But once again, thank you very much for joining me. Enjoy the football this midweek, and I'll see you all in the next video.